Okay, coming right up is England against Samoa. And I can hand it over now to a couple of Englishmen, Rob Vickerman and Joe Burns. Good afternoon, guys.
A couple of very impartial Englishmen to call this fabulous group with Australia, England, Spain and Samoa. Samoa back on the series, Spain showing a bit of class, but it's England against that Samoan team up first. England got the victory against Spain earlier today, and Samoa, they pushed Australia all the way. There's more to come from this team featuring 9 debutantes. Well, here they come. England looking to better their bronze medal that they picked up in Sevilla. They've medalled at 5 of the last 6 Singapore Sevens that they've been involved in. While Samoa, well, do you know what? They are just delighted to be back on the series. It has been a long, long time for this group. It's been a rejuvenated Samoan side. They went to Dubai on the 1st of January. And they trained there, they looked to go to Spain, but then they couldn't make it. They were trapped there. They haven't been home to Samoa since the turn of the year. They've left 2 players and 1 member of staff back there, and they brought the men that they need to do the job. It was an emotional jersey ceremony with Brian Lima, and they get to face him, the greatest try scorer in the game, Dan Norton, back on the World Series himself in his 91st event.
Cannot wait for this one. There is a lot of things you can do to prepare for a game of sevens. Fitness, aerobic conditioning. However, there is nothing to replicate being smashed by a Samoan. They are phenomenal athletes. This is going to be a big challenge for England.
Well, the kickoff is popped up nicely for a chaser to absolutely whack the Samoan receiver. But they do well to come away with it just before being wrestled to the touchline. And Samoa on the attack and showing some of that form that got them 3 tries against Australia and pushed them all the way in their opening match. Real unknown quantity, this Samoan side. We mentioned 9 debutantes. All the action that these guys have seen has been in the domestic Samoan Sevens League, which, let's face it, is a high-caliber Sevens League. Some rising stars and some exciting players that we're getting to see in action. One of those, Afasua, taking it into contact there before Samoa flash back to the right in the hands of Apelu Maliko. Dan Norton collects it though. Dan Norton in some space, shifted on. Here come England. Oh, big hit put in on Jamie Barden. Norton in at first receiver, unfamiliar position, looks to weave through the blue traffic. Takes 2 to bring him down and turned over.
And there's someone who knows about the word that often prefixes to any type of Samoan team, physicality. Really good hits coming in, but not being content with the tackle. He'll know his support has to be much closer than that to him.
Well, 354 World Series tries, that man. We've missed Dan Norton, haven't we, Vix?
On the series, it certainly has been. He scored more tries individually than 11 of these squads collectively, which is a jaw-dropper of a stat.
Over the 15.
It's not about his attack, it's about Samoa at the moment.
Well, they've been tight affairs in the past. In recent times, the last 3 decided by 5 points or less. And we're going to see a foot race, and probably by the looks of things, Samoa opening up proceedings through Steve Onosai. 2 against Australia, and now an English one to add to his ledger.
10.
And it's a nice touch in behind. England playing with the flat line of defence means the space is there.
10.
He puts on the foot. Samoan's very gifted with these types of nudges on players. In years gone by, mastered that skill on the side, as you mentioned. Big smiles on faces. Always a pleasure to see this. And points accrued to his name.
Well, the conversion's added, and Steve Onosai, who's been playing his sevens for Vaiala, out on Samoan trails, gets us underway here at the HSBC Singapore Sevens. England know they've got a match on their hands. It's one of the new boys, Api Bavadra, turned over, and England are on the turn, and Samoa are pouring through. Well scrambled, well recovered. But a penalty. You know what, England have done well to disrupt the opportunity to go quickly on the tap. Samoa with intent, striking the English line, and it's all too easy.
Oh, that was close.
Apalumaliko.
I always get a little bit tentative when you see players slide in the in-goal area because he got so close to the dead ball line. But it's Matavau's great work at the breakdown, transfixed the final defender, Homer. And after that brilliant work for Matavau, oh, look at that, his left foot is so close.
Wow.
His right foot slides around. Oh! Millimetres.
Well, the kick has been taken, and it has been powered right through the middle of the uprights, as close as can be, maybe too close, Rob Vickerman, but the try stands. Samoa have a 14-point lead, and England under the cosh, in possession, with the music still blasting out in the National Stadium. Good battle from Jamie Adamson, the Durham University man, taking England up. First real slice of possession for England in the hands of Will Homer. Plucked from Richmond in the Championship to come and join this Sevens outfit. Dan Norton snaking back inside. How many times have we seen him do that over his career? Good hands under pressure. But it's loose, and it's in the hands of the Samoans, and as we've seen, these guys are lethal. But Homer's got the measure of the Samoan chaser.
10.
It was Scanlon, wasn't it, trying to put that ball in behind? Not a bad tactic, but Homer did well to defend it.
There's Owen Niu, who was on the chase.
Hands. Mark's over here. Squad. Hands.
Well, you got to be precise, Freddie Roddick.
Send him on.
When you're taking the tap.
Laser guided, I think it needs to be. But option for the scrum.
Mark's here.
Big call, I think this.
Make sure there's a hook from
England haven't had a massive amount of ball. You can tell by the stats on the top left. It's been Samoa dominating possession, equal on the offloads. Again, that's a real feature of the Samoans play. Not content with just winning a collision, they get their arms free and play it.
You can see great energy from the Samoans, keen to get into that physical contest in the scrum.
And the reason why you want a scrum is because you have a threat out wide that is a prolific try scorer. So fully expecting this to feature around trying to create a bit of space for Dan Norton on this near side.
Set!
England come away with clean possession, and Will Homer hops back inside and breaks through the first two tackles, two men to take him down.
He had it first.
But too slow at the breakdown, and Samoa are up and away, and they're bursting through the middle of the pitch. Numbers out to the far side. It needs a finish, but a slip of the feet under the turf, a juggle of the ball. And Waina Sayone makes it 3 tries in this first half for Samoa.
There's many things to appreciate from this try. The quick tap, the tempo, the execution of skill. However, the best bit for me was the dive at the end. The big smile, looking across, the no-looker score. Check out this in flight. There he goes.
Ten out of 10 for the try. Maybe 4 out of 10 for the dive.
I don't know, mate. That's committed. You know, you get that slightly wrong, your shoulder's gone. He's gone with it confidently. Brilliant to see Samoa doing exactly what we thought. Grabbing this England team by the scruff of the neck and dragging them wherever they want to put them.
No conversion added, but England on the rack, trailing Samoa 19 points to 0. Two very, very different team talks. The Samoa one will be full of optimism. 3 tries, 19 points to the good. Let's take a listen.
Hold on to the ball as long as we can.
A tall order for England to climb against Samoa, and Spain will think the same after Australia put in a strong performance against the men in blue here. North American derby, USA versus Canada to follow. And then South Africa versus Kenya. Always a ding-dong between those two African nations. So much to look forward to. Well, Samoa, 3 tries and 19 points to the good, and England in need of a rapid response, and they look for that through Bavadra, big heavy carry, and he rolls through for a few extra meters. Oh, knocked on.
First offence here, off feet.
From a lazy hand. There was already penalty advantage. Will Homer tries to sell a dummy, but no one in Samoa is buying that one. Ball squirms through, and so does Samoa. This is going to be the fourth if the footwork's good enough. The dive comes in.
Going to check this one and slide down, okay? Moisey, TMO. Try and check around.
It'll go to the TMO.
It was really intelligent play, ball on the floor. He celebrated as though he scored it, which I'm always a big fan of. Oh, absolutely fine for Matavao. Big play.
Ruben, when you're on screen, you can award the try.
Thank you.
Malani Matavao gets his try. Well, the only Manu Samoa 15-a-side cap player making his mark on the Sevens game. A brilliant bit of opportunism.
What a player, either way. Ball on the floor, there's a mistake, puts the foot on it. Not the nicest contact, but he'll take it. Ball sets the race off. There's only one winner, great dive. Off the shin to nudge it on a bit further. And with it 15s or 7s, this guy is a special rugby player.
Samoa happy to pin England back in their 5 metre and ask them to break us down. Loss of footing. But England recover and then they power on through. That's good stuff from Jamie Adamson.
High tackle, A blue.
Jamie Adamson was playing for his university to help them win the English National League only 3 weeks ago, and now he's here in Singapore on the grandest Sevens world stage. That's Joe Browning, wearing 11, getting into the contact early.
He's an exciting player, need to get him the ball. Big, physical, strong, he's only going to get better as well.
Homer to Browning. Sounds like they've got an earpiece into you, Rob Vickerman, because Browning gets on the ball. But under the pressure to deliver, under the pressure to chase this 26-point deficit, you can see right there the last 3 errors, all from England.
Yeah, you don't want to be backing those up. But just on Browning specifically, the Leicester Tiger player, a name synonymous with club rugby in England. He could be a phenomenal Sevens player. His frame, his pace, but most likely his physicality, he really gets stuck in.
Very good, subs are good.
6'2", 99 kilos. He's part of this modern crop of towering fullbacks that seems specifically to be being bred from Leicester, in fact. The likes of Freddie Stewart coming out of there as well. A large-framed back 3 player too. But it's the low-slung speedsters of Samoa who are hugely problematic for this English defence at the moment. It seems opportunity is everywhere when they've got their hands on the ball. They dart back inside and flash play back to the left. So much room to run into. England just giving Samoa the space that they need to thrive, but they caught possession up at the breakdown. Can England score on the transition?
In touch, leave it, 9.
Well, they would have hoped so, but 2 Samoa players press gang England across the touchline on the boot. We're on a race into the 22 again. We've seen how this has ended numerous times already in this game, but England recover well.
One hand on the ground, off feet, leave it now.
And Apalu Maliko, on the try scorers in the first half, gives away a penalty in England. So finally time to breathe.
They've done so with some damage to the chassis, though, and that's what you get against Samoa. You cannot replicate just how physical they are. Not just defending, which is clearly obvious, but how they carry the ball. Nobody in the Northern Hemisphere carries the ball like them as a nation, and it is really hard to adjust to. You can't replicate it in training.
The biggest win was
Time on.
36-5 in Wellington back in 2002. 20 years ago, and this brand new Samoan side knocking on the door of a bit of try-scoring history against another fresh team on the circuit. England with a lot of players with limited World Series experience, but they're the ones who are being bested by the team with 9 debutants in at the moment.
Knock-on advantage. Advantage over.
Samoa hunting in packs, wanging the ball wide. Bit of pace put on it. Goodness me, Owen Neo. Give him an inch and he'll take a try. Samoa. Singapore Sevens, watch out. Samoa are back.
And it came from an English mistake. Baldwin did really well to get on the outside, but he flirts with the touchline, panics. Ball goes back on the inside, but it is poached by the men in blue. And then out wide, lovely bit of a finish. Owen Nue rightly takes a bow here in Singapore.
The former Samoan under-20 player. Even time to look around, strike a pose, salute the fans. But they don't beat their current record of 31 points that they beat England by in 2002. They do draw level, and there is over a minute left. England will have designs on crossing the Samoan whitewash themselves. Samoa will want to get another try minimum. Look at that again at the breakdown. No tackle release.
Clear release.
Clear release, you heard it there from the referee. Boyland gets us underway, and oh, Browning, big and physical in the tackle. Ball deemed to have gone backwards off a Samoan hand. And a yellow card.
No. Clear release.
Any try now will just be consolation for this England side. They've been well beaten by the Samoans.
Yeah, hammered in every aspect. It's been an absolutely dominant performance from Samoa. You know, to say what they've been through, the journey they've been on, which you alluded to, Joe, really is quite emotional thinking about it. But what the best way of channeling that energy is to expel it on the pitch, and they have done that with incredible precision.
Fa'afoi Falaniko will see off the rest of the game on a plastic chair by the side of the pitch. England will try and get a try, and they do so with great ease. They unlock the depleted Samoan defence, and Ed Coulson gets his second try in 2 games. They take the conversion quickly, but not quickly enough. Samoa resounding victors in this pool match, 31 points to 5.